Yes, yes, y'all. You know what it is. We are here. It's Taco Tuesday. And you know how you know it's Taco Tuesday? Because you see both these handsome gentlemen on your screen. That's how you can tell it's Taco Tuesday. Hey, man, NBA tipped off tonight, 2 games in prime time. One is actually still going on. Well, both are still going on as we speak. One's in overtime. They're trying to give us the game of the year. We'll talk about that. NFL action, and we got to pay some respects to the late Doug Martin. So, with all that being said, it is episode 491 of the I.O.W. Sports Show Late Night Owl Edition. Let's go.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep, go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laughs in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What he do? What he do? Your man Wildcard Mar in the building. Hey, you saw the intro. You already know what it is. It's Taco Tuesday because my man Randy Weber's in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Did you see Sunday? I have not great.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. That was definitely a game that you let slip out of your hands. That's for sure. Neither here nor there. We'll talk about it. For those,
I'm wearing the suit now because it's not just a work suit, but it's also a funeral suit for my hopes and dreams.
Hey, yo, you gotta chill, bro. They said, funeral for my hopes and dreams. But look, man, hopefully it won't let you down too bad. There's still a lot of football left. So we'll talk about week 7 action, some of the biggest headlines coming out of that. An odd situation happened down in the Bay Area with former NFLer Doug Martin. He is no longer with us, unfortunately. Kind of raised both mine and Randy's eyebrows, kind of piqued their interest, like what's going on with that. We'll talk about that. But hey, let's get down to this week. I mean, yes, we're in the full swing of NFL action. Yes, the MLB World Series starts on Friday. Yes, NHL is back. Well, what is back tonight, baby? That's right. NBA, the National Basketball Association, is back in full effect. The tip-off was tonight. Obviously, you had a banner night out in Oklahoma City, but they in a dogfight right now with Houston Rockets, man. Kind of give me your initial thoughts. Well, just give me your thoughts on this game. Obviously, it hasn't ended, but leading up to the conclusion of this game is 124-125, 2.3 seconds left in double overtime. That's right, double overtime. Just kind of give me your thoughts so far on this game.
I mean, it's as competitive as you'd expect with two teams that are basically championship favorites to elite defenses. It actually, for the most part, up until about the fourth quarter, didn't really look. I mean, not like it was a blowout or anything, but the Rockets were pretty decently ahead for a lot of this game. And I
Mhm.
was really surprised by that. I was like, okay, the Rockets are even more serious than we thought. OKC came back around. SGA hasn't really been having that great a game, pretty inefficient. But the team really turned it around. Lou Dort's been having a really good game. And the OKC managed to tie it up, and then it just finished.
Mhm.
OKC ran away with it. Crazy
Yeah.
double overtime game to start the season.
Yeah. For those who aren't watching, and for those who are, 125, 124, Oklahoma City, uh, able to play some good defense on that last final shot, deny Houston the chance to win the game on the opener. Again, double overtime, 125, 124, man. So yeah, go ahead.
You know how you know that these are elite defenses when a double overtime game still is only at in the 120 points.
Hey, bro. I was
No, like not as an insult, as a compliment. Like that's
for sure.
yeah.
Look, correct me if I'm wrong. That's some old school 90s basketball score in double overtime. Literally. Because it literally took double OT for them to get the 120s. And if anybody's been paying attention, man, if you get a 120, more than likely they was getting that in your regular allotted time in 4 quarters, and normally in today's NBA. But yeah, man, I agree with you when it comes to not only the defensive side of this. Don't be shocked, and I know it's game 1, but don't be shocked if you see Thunder and Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. And I'm not trying to be a prisoner on the moment. I just think how Oklahoma City plays, obviously very good team defensively, but they got some scores. I love what Chet did tonight. He was aggressive tonight. So I did love what he did tonight, and hopefully the potential of what he can bring, barring health. He doesn't have to worry about money. Him and Jay Will got paid, and we also got to look at this as Jay Will didn't play. Jay doesn't play today, so
this is what they look like, not fully healthy, and against a Rockets team that played really well. Şengün had a great game. Durant had a really good game. And just to clarify, SGA did have an inefficient game from the field. But as SGA does, he made up a lot of his points at the free throw line. 14 attempts, 10 out of 14 at the free throw line, getting up to 35 points.
Yeah.
Despite going 12 for 26, but it got the job done. They managed to come away with it here.
Hey, look, man, I'm just gonna have this conversation with you basketball heads now before we get too deep off in the season. Hey, man, stop trying to make it like the man is just a free throw merchant. Look, I get it. I get why people say it, and I understand why they say it. But if you're watching the game, he's aggressive, and they're going to blow the whistle against people who are, trying to defend aggressive players going to the hole. That's just where we're at in the NBA. Whether it's minimal contact or not, and sometimes it probably won't even be. All right, let's be honest. Yeah, there'll be minimal to no contact at times, but they're going to reward aggressive players going to the cup. And if you even extend your arm out, they're going to blow the whistle. I just think that's where we're at.
Right. He's one of the best drivers in the NBA, and he uses it all the time. And I mean, as a point guard, especially if you're getting contact on a point guard, the whistle is going to be a little more favorable to you on top of that too. These are just things that happen. It's just part of the game. And it's not like this isn't necessarily a great example, like I was saying, but it's not like he doesn't score from the field. He does. He's one of the best scorers in the NBA, one of the best drivers, one of the best mid-range shooters. He is good from 3. He has his bad games, but overall, if you subtract people's free throws, like he still puts up great numbers. He would have been the scoring champion last year, even if everybody's free throws were turned off. So it's not just that.
Yeah, yeah. So hey, great game for game opening tip off, season tip off, premiere, whatever you want to call it for the NBA. I think, but if we're looking at it from the Houston side, I actually thought they actually did play good defense. Now here's where it's going to bite them in the butt, and it's not a diss to my guy. All right, my man, Amen Thompson. Hey, bro, they're leaving you open at the 3-point line for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They are leaving you open at the 3-point line for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're not a 3-point shooter. And he had just about every attempt that he took from the 3-point line. He took 7 of them, missed them all. He was open.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I don't know about you, Rand, but that was probably the only glaring thing that stuck out to me tonight with the Rockets. I was like, oh, they're not scared of Amen Thompson shooting. They're going to let him shoot that all night. And
yeah, exactly. And that's a big reason why they got KD in the first place, was because they were a great defensive team, but they didn't have 3-point shooting. Like they don't have a lot of guys on that team that are great, deadly 3-point shooters, and they added KD, which I think, we talked when KD was open on the market. We talked about, I was against the Knicks trading for him. I was against other teams trading for him. And I thought, of all the teams to make a trade for him in the way they did it, I thought the Rockets did it exactly the right way, and I thought it made sense. And I still think it does. But he is the guy that you bring in to be that deep scoring threat, because you didn't really have one before. And that's kind of the problem, is if you really only have one of those guys that can be a consistent deep scoring threat, then yeah, the offense is only going to improve so much, because they know who's the really important person to get on offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they made sure that they let Amen Thompson have all the opportunities to make a 3-point shot tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that looked like Russell Westbrook out there, like would not stop taking them.
I'm not trying to dog my man, and I'm not. So please, people, don't take this as I'm shooting on Amen Thompson. I'm just being honest. I saw a weakness, and if I saw it, I'm pretty sure they saw the same thing in OKC and said, "Oh man, let that motherfucker shoot, bro." Yeah, let him shoot. We ain't tripping. He's open, and let him shoot. Yeah. And he went 0 for 7. So this is not me talking shit. I mean, if you watch the game and then go look at the box score, you be like, "Hey man, Maury, okay, you ain't tripping, bro."
They got to work on that. Like, honestly, that's the thing. They really got to get the rest of the team ready to take those deep shots. Thompson especially.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It didn't in spurts. It kind of showed up tonight, but it kind of really didn't. It wasn't a glaring miss, but when they face other teams that's going to play excellent defense, kind of similar to OKC, they're going to need that Fred VanVleet to move and facilitate the ball. So I think that's going to be a big loss in that aspect with Fred VanVleet of his distributing capabilities. And he's also not a bad scorer. He could drop 30 on you too. So, but yeah. Also, you know what's going to be a problem for all these other teams facing the Rockets? Their whole starting 5 is 6'11".
Yeah, I know. I saw that it's one of the tallest rosters in NBA history already.
That's going to be a problem.
Their shortest guy is 6'7". That's crazy. And you wonder why they're such a good defense. That's a huge part of it.
Literally, from 1 to 5. From 1 to 5. They're 6'11". Like, what?
KD might be their weakest defender, and he's what 7'1".
Like, like, come on. Like, what are we? I think that's a cheat code, bro.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you do? Like, what do you do if you have normal sized players, man?
well, that's why, and obviously, it ended up playing out that Chet fouled out, but it's going to be things like that. You're going to have to leave your bigs on the floor.
Yeah, and OKC is a pretty tall team themselves. Like Shea is, probably the tallest point guard in the NBA, or at least one of them. You got Chet.
Right.
Yeah, Chet, who's mad tall. Like, OKC is a pretty tall team, but like they're gonna start playing against teams that don't have that same length, and yeah, we're gonna see how much of an advantage it gives them.
I think it's going to be an issue for those smaller guards going against Houston. Look, love your squad, but luckily y'all don't have to see them on a regular basis. Because I think that'd have been trouble for your man Jalen Brunson going against a 6'11" guard.
I mean, sure, that's true. We've seen Jalen Brunson with his shiftiness, though. Like, he knows how to get around guys, break ankles, get to the cup. For that 6 spin move. And then also in terms of bigs, if we have the Cat and Mitchell Robinson unit, I get it. It definitely not the tallest team, right? Josh Hart's not the tallest. How tall is OG? OG and Mikhail are pretty tall. They're
6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, they're about the same. But yeah, Brunson and Hart aren't that tall. That would be a disadvantage for sure. But we've seen them do it before.
Fair. And please, people, don't get what I'm saying and try to misconstrue what I'm saying as in like all these other 29 teams are just automatically about to lose to the Rockets. No, what I'm saying is it just creates a hellified mismatch, because who has 5 starters besides Houston as all guys are 6'11"? You don't see that. This is something that I've never seen in a while.
Yeah.
In fact, this might be the first occurrence that I can say I've seen. All 5 of your starters are 6'11". Like, what the heck?
No, it's crazy. You don't see a lot of point guards that are that tall. There are periods of time where you're seeing them more and more. But one really important thing is the tallest point guards in the NBAs tend to be among the best ones, right? Like Magic, that was one of the biggest things that helped him was that he was so oversized for a point guard. Shea is another example. You get oversized point guards and they become among the best point guards because it's just that much easier for them.
Yeah, you can see the whole floor. At least you're not having to climb through the towers of trying to get to your space or get to your spot. So,
and you're a mismatch for the other team's point guard a lot of the time.
Oh, more times than not, you will be.
Exactly, and like they can't put a center on you because then you have a center.
Yeah, because then he's too slow.
Right, exactly. You can't put your wings on it. Like you have to put if you're a tall point guard and you have players around you that are as tall as you or taller, they have to put their shortest guy on you because you're the shortest guy on your team, but you're still a mismatch for them.
I'm having a hard time finding another team that's built like the Houston Rockets right now, where if you really think about it, 1 through 5, they got pretty much hybrid players at each position. Obviously, with Kevin Durant being your 3, he can easily play the 2 or the 1. A-Man can play the 4. I know Steven Adams, he could play the 4, but he's a 5. You know what I'm saying? But but he plays his role as a 5 to a T. He's going to rim protect, defense, rebound. That's his job. It's just weird. I've never seen a lineup like this. But to LKC's credit, they played their bigger lineup tonight, and their defensive lineup for the most part. So you had to see Shea get his points from the line. You had to see Chet pretty much play I don't want to say out of his mind game, but he was pretty solid tonight, and
Yeah.
he's going to need more games like that, especially against your bigger teams like a Houston. So we'll see how it goes. So far, second quarter, you got 45-39. Golden State is up on LA right now. This is the Jimmy Butler show right now so far for Golden State. Steph has gotten off a little bit, and we'll kind of see how the Lakers look with Luka. We'll keep our eye on that game. We'll give y'all the final score when it concludes. But hey, as always, man, we gotta give y'all the my man Randy Weber took the time out of his day to give y'all his early predictions. All right. So hey, if you ready, I'm ready, Randy's ready. It's time for them Randy Weber NBA early predictions. Now I know it's gonna look a little kind of tough for y'all to see. And that's as big as it's gonna get, but take us through it, Randy, because right here you got your Western and your Eastern Conference on some of those right there, and we'll bring up the other West and the East. But you have so far, you got the Rockets, the Mavericks, that division, and then you got the OKC division, and then you got the Orlando Magic division and your Knicks division. So go ahead and speak on those four divisions, 2 in the West, 2 for the East. And forgive me if I don't know their specific names.
Okay.
Basketball.
So yeah. So don't pay too much attention to the actual records. I don't actually think that we're gonna have 5 teams with 70 plus points, 70 plus wins. This was just me setting up for where I think everyone's gonna seed. So naturally, you have the West, who are a dogfight of a ton of the best teams in the NBA, and then you have the East, which is 2 real teams, and then like a bunch of what would otherwise be play-in teams. I have the Clippers that end up being the making it in the play-in as the 8th seed, and they have the same record as the team that I have in the 3rd seed in the East. That's just, do I necessarily think that's going to happen? I don't know, but that in terms of how overloaded the West is versus the East, that's just kind of how you get those results. So Knicks, I think, are going to be the 1st seed in the East. It's not me being a homer. The East is absolutely wide open, and there are only 2 really good teams. It's going to be them or it's going to be the Cavs. I think the Knicks do have the edge. And then, so 3 seed in the East is Magic, although that's going to be in the next pick. It's going to be Magic. Magic has a lot of hype right now. They had one of the better defenses in the NBA. They brought in Desmond Bane to add shooting. I do think, given how open the East is, I think that would be enough to get to the 3 seed. Celtics, I still have as the 4 seed. I know that because Tatum is injured, they traded Porzingis. They traded Drew Holiday. I know the team isn't what it was. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're a great team. But again, the East is super open. They still have Jaylen Brown. They still have Derek White. They brought in Anthony Simons. I think that the team is good enough that they should seed high because it's the East. The coaching is still good. I think for those reasons, like it's still one of the more talented teams in the East.
Agreed.
5 is the Bucks. That's entirely the Giannis effect. I don't think they'd even make the play-in if it was the West, but when you have Giannis and other teams that aren't very good teams don't have Giannis, you win.
Yeah.
6th seed in the East, I had Miami Heat, which was, I think, is probably going to be one of my more controversial seeding picks, but I chose them because they have Tyler Hero, they have Bam Adebayo, they have Spoelstra coaching. Given how open it is, I think that they have a decent amount of talent, and I think that they could scrape together just enough wins to to take the 6th seed, although the Pistons, who I have getting the 7th seed, could end up being in that spot. That one could really go either way. I think the Pistons were the beneficiaries last year of lowered expectations. I do think that they were coached really well. The defense is really good. I think Cade Cunningham is great, but I do think that they're still a fairly limited team. I wasn't really impressed with their off season. I still think that they make the playoffs because of how open the East is, but I still don't think they're a really good team or a serious threat. Pacers I had as the 8th seed. Again, just because who else is going to be the 8th seed in the East? They still have, even with Tyrese Halliburton out, they still do have a solid enough roster that they could scrape just enough wins to make the 8th seed, I think.
Still good a coach. He's still a good coach.
Still a good coach. They still have, aside from Halliburton and Turner, they still have all the other players that got them to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so the West. OKC I have back-to-back as the 1st seed. They're the reigning champs. They didn't get worse in the offseason by any means, so I don't see any reason why they shouldn't repeat. The Rockets I have as the 2nd seed. I mean, we just saw how dominant both these teams were against each other. I think the Rockets can be the 2 seed. I think they're going to be crazy dominant defense. KD's going to score like crazy. Nuggets I have as the 3rd seed. The Nuggets are always going to be favorites because they have Jokic. Jamal Murray is great. I don't think the roster top to bottom is one of the most elite rosters in the NBA. Their defense was a problem last year, but as they always seem to make their way to the top almost off of the back of Jokic and good play from the role players. And I think they can do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, elite defensive play from Rudy Gobert. They've been consistently one of the best teams, one of the best defenses. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. I have them getting the 4th seed. Warriors, who a lot of people are really down on this coming year. I'm not. I think, Steph Curry still got it. Draymond Green lifted the team to being one of the best defenses last year. I don't see why they couldn't do it again. I loved the addition of Jimmy Butler. I loved the addition of Al Horford in the offseason. So I think getting the 5th seed is totally doable. Lakers getting the 6th seed, Luka LeBron. Like, it's just the Luka LeBron effect.
Yeah.
And then 7th and 8th seed. 7th seed. So the Mavericks actually might be my most controversial because everyone's really down on the Mavericks after the Luka trade. The roster is still a very talented roster.
It is.
They have Anthony Davis, who's, if he stays healthy, this is all assuming health, right? Like, because you can't guess an injury, but assuming health, Anthony Davis is a great player, elite defensive player. I know that they're not going to have Kyrie Irving for a while,
if at all,
right? Yeah. If at all, so that creates that issue. If they manage to make the playoffs, I think he's supposed to be healthy around that time, so he would be able to join the team for that, or at least very late in the season, maybe. Cooper Flog, we don't know what he's going to end up being, but he should be good. And then you have,
Klay Thompson.
You have Lively. You have, what is that?
Is it Klay Thompson still got a little left?
Yeah, Klay Thompson. You got Lively. You got Gatford. Like, they not a bad roster.
Yeah.
I think they can be really competitive. And then the 8th seed, the Clippers, who have a very loaded roster. They always have a loaded roster, and there's always questions around it. So Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Zoo, who was a decoy candidate last year. They have Bradley Beal now. They have Chris Paul now. They have who else do they have? They have I'm forgetting somebody.
But the crazy thing is, as you're listing off those names, if you just go by off a namesake, the Clippers might be the most dangerous team in the league if you go off a namesake.
Right, exactly. They have Lopez, Brooke Lopez. They also got Bojan Bogdanovic. Yeah, no, exactly. Like this team on paper is really good. A big problem is most of these guys are past their prime.
Oh, this Clippers team would have been killer in 2017.
Yeah, bro, they would have broken the league. They would have been like a 70-point win team back then, but they're not that now. And Kawhi is always an injury risk. You know, you never know what you're getting from him. You know, so I was struggling to decide who was going to make the 8th seed between them and the Spurs, but I do, and you know, Wemby is already a top 10 player, could end up being a top 5 by the end of the season. You have Fox, who I really like as a supporting player there. Castle, who was great as a rookie last year. I just don't think they have the depth that the other teams that I have making it have, and I think that's the reason why they don't make it in. But so those are my seeds, and then this is my playoffs. Do you have any questions or objections to any of this so far?
No. I think some of your concerns about some of those teams are legit because one, you talk about, like you said, when you have Boston, I thought that was fair. And the reason why I thought it was fair is because they still got some of their pieces left off of that championship team still there. And I get Tatum's not there. He's going to be hurt. But Joe Mazzulla, I'll give him his credit. He's shown that he can actually be competent more times than not as a coach. Mm-hmm. And it's still a lot of championship DNA in that building. So we're not going to act like Jaylen Brown's a scrub. He ain't no scrub.
Right. He's enough to seed in the East.
Oh, and that's why I'm glad you brought that up. The bigger part is Boston's not the only team suffering from injuries that's going to make their performance as a team drop down a little bit. They're not the only team. It's multiple teams in the East. And the crazy thing about that is you get to see some of the other teams in the East, like you said, Orlando take a step forward. Detroit hopefully take a step forward. Cleveland, is this Cleveland's year? My thing with Cleveland, I think a lot of things are going in your favor right now with a lot of those teams that are normally at the top of these coming down. What is Milwaukee going to be? Yeah, we know what Giannis is. I'm talking about the rest of the team. Mm-hmm. We know what Giannis is. I thought you were spot on. And then on the West, to be honest, you can take pretty much 3/4 of the West and swap them out in seedings. Obviously, your top 3 are going to be your top 3, but you can probably go down almost to the 10th, 11th team and be like, well, they got a chance to make the play in, and then you make the play in, anything's pretty much up for grabs after that. So
yeah, no, it's true. Like, if the Memphis Grizzlies were in the East instead of the West, they would probably seed around maybe 5. Yeah. Like that's how deep the Spurs would probably be the 3rd seed if they were in the East. Like that's just how deep the West is.
Yeah. I agree.
The Clippers would definitely be the 3 seed if they were in the East. Like I had them in the Magic, who I have as the 3 seed, have the same record. Like that's just it's just unbalanced.
Yeah, they're a 9th, 8th seed at best in the West.
Right. Exactly. And like I don't know, is that fair? Well, that's just life, you know.
Well, damn, being fair, I just think that's just, to me, I just thought that was just common sense knowledge at this point, because you look at how the team's been set up, you see what they've done in the offseason, you see how they played. It's going to be a gauntlet in the West, and on the East is just a gauntlet of durability. Can you stay healthy?
Yep.
And make sure that your team's intact towards the back half of that regular season.
And now that we don't have Tibbs running our players into the ground, the likelihood of health is a little bit better.
Should be. But I'm gonna be honest. Tibbs is one of those hires or fires where he's going to bring you success. The only problem is if he doesn't get over that hump and get to championship level, it's like, damn, I'm going to give up a coach that I know is going to get me in position to get to a playoff berth. But he's not delivering on the part that really matters the most, which is the winning in the playoffs. I mean, that's just a fact. Go ask James Franklin in Penn State why he got canned. All right. The guy won, gave you 100+ wins in Penn State, but he couldn't win the big games. All right. And then when you start losing to the scrubs, oh yeah, you got to go.
Nope. No, it's true. And I mean, like Mike Brown, a lot of people have said that Mike Brown and Tibbs are very similar, and they are in some ways for sure.
Yes, I wouldn't say.
Mike Brown took the Sacramento Kings and made them the best offense of all time. He has more talent than he had then. I don't see any reason why he couldn't do so. I mean, again, also like a lot of his strategy, like the type of players he had, were similar. Like he had Fox, the clutch shooting point guard, similar prototype to Jalen Brunson, with a big offensive centric center.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have with Cat. It's not it. He has more talent now than he's had to work with in a while. I don't see why he couldn't.
Look,
he got the 2007 Cavaliers to the finals, and I get that he had LeBron James, and that was it. That was it. Yeah, otherwise, it could have been you and me out there, and he got them to the finals.
He had to coach the rest of the team.
Yeah, LeBron could only do so much. He's one guy.
He had to coach the rest of the team. Shit. But let's get down to your brackets. Right here. Let's talk about what's that? The West you got up top.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and run through that, and then we'll get to the eastern side of that bracket that's on the bottom.
All right, so OKC beating the Clippers. I typed it at 1 at the time, like in not 1, 5 games. I would actually go 6 games for that. I do think that the Clippers could be more dangerous than expected. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say for that matchup, that one actually goes to 6 games. Timberwolves versus Warriors, also 6 games. Nuggets versus the Lakers. So I will admit, I put my thumb on the scale a little bit because I really wanted a Lakers Mavericks playoff series. And because of that, I couldn't justify them winning if it wasn't a 7-game series. So
yeah, I can't even see you.
Like, I just wanted it, man. Like I just want it so bad.
I'm glad you explained that, because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Dallas play yet, but I don't know if they can match that.
No, if I'm being totally objective and reasonable, that's probably a 5-game series for the Rockets. But I really wanted it, and it could happen. Again, it is a talented roster. It can happen. Upsets do happen. The Pacers made the finals last year. You never know. So, Lakers, off the power of Luka and LeBron, managed to somehow beat the Nuggets, and both teams that are mostly offensive heavy. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Rockets and the Mavericks, who are both teams that are defensive heavy. And they both managed to win some 7-game dogfights so that they can match up in the next round. Knicks beat the shit out of the Pacers because we get our revenge. They're not ready. They can't handle it. Knicks go to the next round. Celtics, Bucks. The Celtics are a decently better team than the Bucks, but because the Celtics aren't at full strength, I think the Bucks could make them sweat and get to a 7-game series. I wouldn't think so if the Celtics were fully healthy. I would think it would be a wash, but with their weaknesses and the power of Giannis, they might be able to force some sweating. Magic versus the Heat. I have the Magic going through, and then the Cavs beat up on the Pistons because I do think they would beat up on the Pistons. And then OKC and the Timberwolves, 6 games competitive. OKC goes through.
Yeah.
Then we get the Luka revenge series. Of course, it would be a dogfight, but Luka and LeBron get through to the next round. Knicks beat up on a beat up Celtics and give them no chance. So that's 2 straight washes, 2 straight sweeps.
Wow.
Magic and the Cavaliers. I gave the Magic a win because I don't think the Magic are going to be bad. I think they're going to be good, but it's really a pretty one-sided series. Cavaliers go in 5, and then we get to the conference finals games. OKC beat the Lakers in 5 games. Knicks beat the Cavaliers in 5 games, and then the Knicks go on in a 7-game series to win the chip, to bring it back to Madison Square Garden in a 7-game series against OKC. Your thoughts, agreements, disagreements, analysis, questions?
Man.
I'm not being a homer. It can happen.
Look, I said this on the show with my man Bobby G on Friday night Audible podcast. We did a basketball preview show, and I said it has to be this year. I think you guys in Cleveland are in the same boat. It has to be this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just, I mean, the basketball guys put some things in your favor, point blank period. And you got Tatum down. You got Halliburton down. So those are 2 key players to 2 of your opponents that are direct, competition in your way. And for some reason, Cleveland, they always get bit by the injury bug late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the playoffs. I mean, they put up 62 wins last year. Next, playoffs hit switch, then they're not even playing at full strength because they're missing at least a couple of their guards. I know Darius Garland was down, and somebody else
went down. Mobley went down.
Yeah.
Well, the Halliburton Devil Magic.
Yeah. Then that happens. So Cleveland needs to show the ability that they need to stay healthy at the right time, and the Knicks got to show the ability to put it all together. I mean, I don't know if Tibbs was the problem last year, but I mean, it's not like you guys didn't have the roster. I mean, relatively healthy in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, yeah, exactly. Like, they didn't get hurt again. I do think that aside from the insanely lucky bounce, I do think coaching, because the rosters, the Knicks roster was clearly better, but there was the coaching and there was also the depth problem. And I really loved the Knicks offseason because we addressed, without tampering with the roster to an unnecessary point, we
man, you ain't got to
the hole.
People, dog.
What's up?
You had to shoot shots at them people.
No shooting shots. Just they did the exact right thing. They took what their problem was and they fixed their problem. They added bench depth, and they didn't mess with the starting roster. And I loved that they didn't mess with the starting roster. Just bench depth and fill it out.
I'm talking about they didn't have to tamper to get it.
I didn't. That was subliminal. That was a Freudian attack.
So, but no, man. I don't hate that you got your Knicks going that far, because I think it has to be a point in time. Now the opponent that they're going against, obviously, you wanted the Luka revenge game. I get it. I'm glad you explained it, because I can't see Dallas. That's going to be a Anthony Davis ball out of his mind series to get past Houston.
Mm-hmm. It would have to be.
He would have to average 45.
Yeah, with like 10 blocks.
10 blocks, 15 boards. He would have to like literally look back in his Kentucky days to do this.
Kyrie would have to come back too.
And Kyrie would have to be back, yes, and he would have to drop 28.
Flog would have to have an all-time LeBron like rookie season.
He would have to. He would have to be easily unanimously, without a shadow of a doubt. No other answer him rookie of the year type situation shit.
Mm-hmm. And then same deal with the Lakers and the Nuggets, right? Like obviously I would favor the Nuggets, but Luka and LeBron, maybe Bronny shows up and has maybe he puts 100 points out. Maybe he has a Wilt Chamberlain game. You never know.
Bron is at that point where he's like, I'm picking and choosing when I'm playing, and he's playing playoffs, so you're getting best LeBron. Like right now, I just think he's nursing, or he's like,
yeah. And also, Jamal Murray always turns into Michael Jordan when he sees a yellow jersey. So there are a lot of things working against them, but
and
if Adam Silver can do anything, he'll make that matchup happen.
That's a crazy matchup right there, and that's a tough 6-3 series for both of those teams, for Nuggets and Lakers. Because you mess around and get that wrong loss, man, you'll swing the momentum of that series and you'll be put out. So no, I really don't hate your early predictions.
How do you feel about me picking your team to go to the Western Conference Finals in that, like, how much do you believe in your team going into this? What do you think is your ceiling and floor?
Well, as I'm watching them right now, you get a lot of playoff experience with Marcus Smart, but you get a lot of erratic play with Marcus Smart. He's almost like your J.R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he's on, he's on. When he's off, that's the reason why he's on a lot of teams on his resume. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Reeves, I guess I've never really been a big fan of him. I tried. I just think he's just too inconsistent for me. And Brian puts a lot of too much love on his name, and I'm like, okay, you say all this, but it's not consistent enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's also a very limited player. Like he has some great spurts of scoring like insane games, but you agree, it's not consistent. He's not much of a defender at all. He's limited. He's small.
It's not like you're a 3-and-D guy where you're shooting the threes and defending. That's not what you're doing. We'll see if we have enough offense. Obviously, you're going to look at, in my opinion, it should start with Luka and then defer to LeBron as your scoring option. Yes, I'm saying LeBron should be option number 2. So LeBron, LeBron sexual, I don't give a damn what you got to say. This man is 40 plus. Like, yes, it's miraculous. It's amazing. It's godly what he's doing. Bravo. Okay. But if he's doing what he's doing now throughout the season, where, there's going to be times he's going to have to take a week and a half off, just to make sure that his body is ready for playoff.
Also, that LeBron has so much pull when it comes to the decisions of the Lakers. There's no way that he would have not pushed back against the Luka trade more if he was comfortable being a second man.
Randy, you know me. I'm not a big Bron guy. But of course, I want his opinion on everything. Of course. He's earned it. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like I can't downplay what the man has done career-wise. Yes, chime in on what you want around you, because ultimately he has to be on the court with him.
Yeah, and he's not accepting a trade for basically the most heliocentric player in the NBA if he's not okay with taking a little bit of a back roll. Like, he obviously was okay with that.
You kill 2 birds with it by taking Luka to LA. You get the star quality because he is a star. He's an international name. and that's big for what the NBA likes to do. They like to sell their product internationally. They love it.
Mhm.
So that check. Ooh. But offensively, you can't doubt the man's skills. Luka's offensively a problem. It's what are you going to bring defensively?
Right.
So it does kill two birds with one stone. It gives the LA market their star, and similar to Shohei Ohtani in the Major League Baseball with the Dodgers, big market, international name in Luka. You kill two birds with one stone. You help bring in the money because now, I mean, not like the Lakers weren't on an international platform anyway, but hell, it helps with the international phenom that is Luka.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we help the bottom line, and we can actually sell to our fans that hey, we're giving you the star, and we're going to pair him with the aging star in LeBron, and hopefully he can take that torch on. Um, and not saying that AD couldn't do it, and there
He's
were
just older. That's a big part of it. He's older. He was injury prone. Luca is younger. He's less injury prone, that decently. And yeah, you're right. Like he's not bringing defense, but he is bringing insane offense. You got Aiden as the solution for the center position on defense. We'll see how much that works out.
yeah, I'm worried about that one. I'm not gonna lie about that one. I'm
Mhm.
worried about that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. It's weird because I think Aiton still has a potential to not be one of the bigger. I'm not saying that, but at least be solid. Where 'cause now you're bouncing around, and when you start bouncing around teams, and the league is pretty much telling us what they really think about you.
Right.
You
And
know,
also, we should probably mention this on the show. The Shohei Ohtani, possibly the greatest MLB game of all time, just recently happened.
game,
The
yes, that was crazy. The 10 Ks and the home runs in the same game, and the one that literally, I think it almost cleared the stadium or some shit like that. Like
uh-huh.
that mother, yeah. What do you say about that?
Where do you think he is in the? I mean, like now he's really entered like seriously the GOAT conversation, and like a lot of people are talking about him in that area now. Babe Ruth played in Cracker Ball, so you have to count that against him. And then where do you think that Otani is now?
Shut your mouth, Red. Hey, look. My thing is for me, baseball. So with Shohei Ohtani, obviously he can be a pitcher, and he when he's pitching, he's filthy. His skill wise is like that. But it's not like he's doing it. He was doing it on an everyday basis, like during the regular season when he was part of the pitching rotation and he was playing in the outfield. So I'm not knocking that, but I can see where people can be like, man, this man's a designated hitter. Like you're not exorbitant energy. You're just hitting, taking, batting practice. But once they did start using him in the rotation a little bit later towards the back end of the season, leading up to the playoffs, and of course he's on the playoff roster as a pitcher and a DH, and it's smart. I mean, you utilize both attributes about it, especially if you don't want to load through your starters in a playoff series. He can go out there and pitch. He could do a start. He can go 5-6 innings and throw some field and get players out. But you always use the bat side because the man hitting wise is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw what that man just did. So yeah, man. When you talk about skill wise, yeah, people are gonna. Rightfully so. You should put him in that conversation. Me personally, of what I've seen baseball wise. Just my goat's Barry Bonds.
Okay.
We need, and it's almost similar to the conversation we had about Kobe and about the emotional part of it. And I just think when it comes to emotions, and I don't want to say like whether in certain sports one matters more than the other. Obviously, we can have that debate another show, but for some reason in baseball, the emotions like it carries shit. It carries weight for some freaking reason. And the fact that people were absolutely scared of Barry Bonds, like literally the bases are loaded and they will walk him
Mm-hmm.
and won't pitch to him at all. They'll rather just take the run, walk him, that fear factor. And the guy was a hell of an outfitter too. And obviously, you know, he played in the National League, so he was playing in the time where there wasn't a designated hitter, so he was still playing the field.
You know who's a good comparison to that in football? I would kind of consider that like the baseball equivalent to like the Randy Moss effect of the we're changing our entire scheme for that one guy because we know he's so capable of doing this insane thing. If you don't scheme just for him,
no, you have to.
Yeah, the game's over. Exactly. And Barry Bonds is like that. Barry Bonds was like that.
Absolutely done. And just watching that man, Jace, literally instill fear into baseball managers where they refuse. The man has so many walks in his career. He was breaking records, his own records in walks, damn near every year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just Barry Bonds was just something on another level, and
the roids don't have an effect on your standing for him.
You know why I don't let that shit bother my standing is because Major League Baseball profited off that shit, okay. And then they got high and mighty, and you know, and rightfully so. There was some deaths, and they got to Capitol Hill. And, you know, then they start interviewing all the big dogs and, you know, they over there lying on the stand. Now, I ain't never used it knowing good and damn well, you know, they didn't use all types of shit. And
yeah. Well, I don't even mean from like a moral perspective necessarily, just like if everything was level and nobody was using roids, would he still have been that dominant? He absolutely would have been dominant regardless.
No, his first half of his career when he was in Pittsburgh and he was winning MVPs like
yeah,
80s. Like that's how long his career stretched. He was winning MVPs early in his career.
Yeah,
like,
before awards.
Yeah, Barry Bonds was like that, and so the fact that he was already doing that in his early in his career, but he wasn't, you know, winning the championships, and that's the only thing that eluded him. He's been to the World Series, but just team wise, you know, they're not going to let him beat them. So it's up to everybody else. And unfortunately, what around him wasn't good enough. So it's, yeah. And I dare even say I would put Albert Pujols ahead of Shohei Ohtani.
Really? That's okay. That's a hot take.
Albert Pujols was his nickname was a machine. Yeah, he was a machine. He almost had a slight Barry Bonds treatment where, you know, there was times we hate, take your base, bro. We hate it. But
okay. So where would you, in terms of like the old school guys, like the Willie Mays, the Mickey Mantle, like, do you think he's?
I've seen highlights. I'm not,
you're only like from your ability to see on.
Well, because I treat it the same way I have my GOAT conversation with NBA or NFL. I can only speak on what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like literally watch their games or, you know, in person or, you know, I've been watching football for a long ass time. So if I didn't see you before 91, I I can't really have that conversation on what you did. I can only talk about what I've seen you do, and then from 91 on.
Right.
So
Very fair.
So I look, and that's why when I had that GOAT conversation in NBA, it's hard for me to speak on Wilton, Bill, and them cats. I can speak about a chunk of Larry, Magic, and anything past that. Anything before that, I can't really speak on it, and that's just how and look, I respect everybody's conversation when they throw in GOATs. And obviously, those lists are just like any other list. Are some of those things going to be numbers based? Absolutely. So, there's going to be people putting in certain positions based off of numbers, and it is what it is. So,
okay,
yeah,
all right, that's fair. Do you want to talk about Doug Martin now?
Yeah, because that'll kind of transition to our NFL situation. Doug Martin, 36. Put that in perspective, man. Like, he's around my age. 36. Obviously, there's some things coming out in the story. We're gonna play this clip, kind of shed some light onto the story, some information, and let's just chop it up and hear what's going on. This is ABC 7 out in the Bay Area where the situation went down. So let's give it a listen.
A lot of people cared for him. He was so caring. Words cannot explain how caring he was.
Overwhelmed by sadness, Cara Ruffino is describing her friend Doug Martin, former NFL and college football player who died Saturday morning. Police say he was involved in a break-in at this Oakland Hills home. As officers attempted to detain him, they say there was a brief struggle, and after being detained, Martin became unresponsive and later died at a hospital.
They dropped the ball. Is it because of the color of his skin that they thought maybe it was someone bad?
Ruffino and her family met Doug when he was in college at Boise State, before his time as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Oakland Raider. Doug's former agent released a statement on behalf of the Martin family, in part saying, privately, Doug battled mental health challenges, going on to say Doug's parents were actively seeking medical assistance for him and contacted local authorities for support. Feeling overwhelmed and disoriented, Doug fled his home during the night and entered a neighbor's residence 2 doors down. I spoke with his former high school football coach in Stockton.
We miss him. We're grieving. We're hurting. Tough loss for a lot of people. A lot of people that loved Doug.
I think a lot of our hopes were that, maybe some of the personal demons that he was facing, he was getting behind him.
Nick Perkins also met Doug in Boise. He says he was a fun-loving, stand-up guy who was very involved in the community and who helped put Boise State on the map nationally for football. While the mental health concerns here are front and center, Carr says she wants to see the body camera video from officers to see how much force was used to detain him.
I know the justice will be done. We love you, Doug. I'm so done. Sorry.
Yeah, crazy situation, man. You know what this sounds like, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And so he was, to wrap up what we know about the story as of now, he was knocking on people's doors and he was having what seemed to be a mental health episode. He ended up in a neighbor's house and the police were called. I think there were a few 911 calls that led before the police ended up getting there, and they arrested him they detained him in the neighbor's house, and seemingly there was a struggle to detain him. Now, time went by. He did not die at the scene. He died later in their custody. We have no idea how. The police have said nothing about it. They've refused, despite calls from the media, to release the body-worn camera footage or any one of the number of surveillance that should exist or should be available. They've since refused. The officers, as is often the case, are now on a paid vacation. As what Oakland Police Department has said is their protocol. If somebody dies in their custody, they're on paid administrative leave.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, the fact that they're not willing to release what happened to clear their name, you'd think that they would want to do that immediately.
Sure. But it's kind of okay. It's not tricky for most people. It's going to be tricky for some people, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, if there are certain cities like Oakland has a long history of bad publicity when it comes with the relationship between black folks and police. All right, a long history. All right,
Yeah,
so
it can have its own episode.
easily. So that's part of the conversation of okay, so how does a man go from being alive to being perished in your custody? And that's too close to that history. So that plays a part. And then the other part is the CTE part. Because this sounds oddly familiar to another brother in South Carolina who was just a practice squatter, didn't play as much as Doug. Still same issues. The Hall of Fame Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker, I forget his name. Started with him, Webster, I believe. That kind of pretty much set it off about the whole CTE conversation. It sounds like all those other football deaths were, uncharacteristic from what people are known for being. Doug Martin, I mean, I've always heard like the friend of Doug. That's the only stories I've ever heard of Doug Martin. Just being a very, kind individual.
Yeah, and he probably, even at his craziest, or to be sensitive, I guess, most mentally unwell, whatever.
Mhm.
He probably wasn't being, I don't know. It didn't become like a bad person or anything. He probably actually needed help. It seemed like a lot of the 911 calls included recognition that there was a mentally unwell man having an episode and seeking help. That's why he was knocking on doors. It seemed to be that there was it wasn't clear whether this was a burglary for the purpose of like breaking in and stealing, or if he was just having an episode. It seems like the evidence suggests he's having an episode, but we don't really know everything at this point. He was in somebody's house. He was in somebody's house, but it did not. There does not seem to be reason to believe that it was anything other than a mental health episode at this point.
Yeah. And obviously, we're not assuming, folks. Obviously, there's still more information that needs to come out. It's just the signs are suggesting that, and we're just kind of following the dots.
Exactly. Yes, we're not making any kind of conclusions about anything. I had a whole thing on not doing that.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's a sad situation, but if it's pointing to what we're thinking it is, because we were talking about it off air. NFL, you can't keep making all this kind of money, and you can't like be more aggressive when it comes to post NFL careers. I'm gonna say you owe these players to go above and beyond to protect them post NFL career. Stop waiting 4 years to vet these guys and get them life insurance, but give them the proper care, life insurance, everything. Go above and beyond. Y'all making money That is hand over fucking fist, bro. Ain't no way that they shouldn't. That y'all should provide them. Don't even wait for them to ask for it. Just do it. Have them with a therapist every month.
Yeah, exactly. Access to medication if necessary.
The best medicine if necessary, without a problem.
Because they're fine paying for crazy expensive medical care if that means that player is going to get back on the field and make them some money. But they won't do it when they're not making the money anymore.
I milked you dry.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a butcher shop, bro. But y'all been treating it like it is such. And you got shit like this happening. And it's going to continue to happen. And that's the unfortunate part. Doug Martin's not going to be the last. The moment that you play football and you go to that lengthened time in your career and playing in the NFL and have some time, I don't think there's no, unfortunately, I don't think there's no avoiding it.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be prime time Deion Sanders, my favorite player. He's having his health problems.
Yep. Antonio Brown is one we all remember. O.J. Simpson was very likely affected by it.
Probably so. More than likely.
Also, on the police side of things, the fact that someone can die in your custody, you can get a paid vacation, and there's no laws requiring you to get an external investigation from outside of the police department.
Somebody do some investigating.
Yeah, the fact that they're allowed to just hold on to the footage, not turn it over, and then just get a paid vacation is insane. There has to be external investigations when people die in police custody, like through civilian review boards. There has to be, like, body-worn camera has to be able to be viewed by somebody outside of the department. It's insane. The fact that they're able to just hold on to this. We don't even know necessarily what happened, but the fact that they won't release it makes it so much more suspicious. And it's not like I get there probably was, and he's a huge guy. He's a football player. Like, I get that there was in fact a struggle when they tried to detain him. We have no idea what happened after that. It's theoretically possible that he died as a result of
struggle.
Yes, struggle, but it doesn't see it. They would release that if that was the case. What I think, it's my guess, is what happened was in the middle of a struggle, they used some sort of headlock, restraining mechanism that it's illegal, something that wouldn't have been upheld by police protocol, and that's how he died, and that's why they won't release it.
Hey, again, Oakland,
that's my guess. I'm not making any conclusions to anything, but that explains to me why that would happen, and also why they wouldn't release the footage of it.
Hey, look, Oakland, city of Oakland. You better say something to these people. Don't act like they ain't never been scared to go ride up in that motherfucker.
Yep.
They will. And they mad about the cost of living out there in high ass California.
Yeah, California has a poop map. Like there's a lot of things going wrong over there. People are ready to riot. Traffic's crazy. Taxes are crazy. Now they're killing beloved football players.
They gonna have them boys out there acting a fool. I better. And these ain't the new age riders. These are the YN riders. They out there just to destroy because they just like to destroy shit. Half of them are doing it for a good cause. The other half are just YNs. So y'all might want to be careful about messing with these young bulls. And
it's a way to make a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't have cared that much might care now that it's a beloved football player. And that's sad, but that is a lot of people's value system is that. It doesn't matter until it's someone you personally know and care about.
Hey, so when it comes to police and NFL is going to keep having its CTE conversation. Police going to always have the reform conversation. It's never going to end.
Mm-hmm.
When I always say that sports and life are always a parallel to each other, it's your point in proving right there. It is two entities that have a problem that it continues to be the backbone of their existence.
Yeah, like there has to be at least firings if someone dies in custody and they don't have a good explanation with very significant evidence. At least firings.
We'll see what happens, man. But it's I just think there's enough that needs to be better on both ends, NFL and police.
Yep.
But again, I'm not assuming because we're not given access to the body cams or what happened, and there's more information that's coming out. But there will be. But hey, the way that
I mean, the
way that Oakland's set up.
It's a family that probably has more money than a
Hey.
lot of other families who lose someone to police. Maybe that could be a lawsuit.
Hey, fam, the way that Oakland is set up.
All right. Speaking of Oakland, your team played a former Oakland team.
Oh man, whoop that ass.
31-0.
No, we had to. We had to show that people was good.
So the NFL is in a really weird place right now, as a lot of people are talking about, because there are like a couple of teams that are good and there are a couple of teams that are bad, but like 90-something% of the NFL is in this weird tier of we have no idea if this team is good or bad or not.
I'm gonna be honest. It's injuries and some bad coaching. It's just been injuries and bad coaching, if you ask me.
Yeah. Right, because like the Chiefs were in that we don't know what's going on tier. Then they got their receivers back, and now they're one of the good teams. The Raiders are pretty comfortably one of the bad teams, right? But even the Chiefs were in that weird territory for the first half of the season. Then they lost to Trevor Lawrence, even when they got Xavier Worthy back. We didn't know. And speaking of which, also, since we talked about first, third awards, I would like to formally remove Justin Herbert from that 5 and put Patrick Mahomes in, because I know that you fought for that.
I
didn't have a winning record, and now he does. And it's crazy that Chris Jones not putting his hands on Trevor Lawrence when he fell twice is the difference between Patrick Mahomes being a top 2 MVP candidate and not being in the conversation, because that's the difference between a winning record and not a winning record.
I put it to you this way: even when the Chiefs were struggling, it was a multitude of things, but it was more Patrick that literally was putting on his cape just to keep the team just in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking like performance wise, he's been this the whole season, just always making the play. I'm not gonna knock Baker Mayfield for his performance last night. Still dealing with a lot of injuries.
It eventually had to come back to him, and it's against one of the best teams in the NFL. And like that's the thing also, like that's why it's kind of hard to make the Patrick Mahomes should still be in the MVP conversation without a winning record, because his receivers are hurt argument when Baker Mayfield has his receivers hurt, all 3 of them at periods of time, and his running back hurt.
Yeah.
And just had his second loss.
I put it to you this way: going before this weekend's action, I was going Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, Patrick Mahomes, 1, 2, 3. And I could probably flop Baker and Patrick right now at 1 and 3 and still keep Daniel at 2. I would definitely have to, if 4 and 5 is where I'm having a struggle at, if I would have a top 5 candidates right now.
Who else did I mention? Jared Goff was one of mine, and I really think he should be in that conversation. He's always talked about.
I have no problem with that. I could probably put him at 4.
He's leading the best offense in the NFL, so I think so. Who else did I mention? It was those two. It was Baker, Goff, Herbert, who's now out.
He had Jamar Chase in there
for MVP.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, it was all quarterbacks. Hold on. Josh Allen was one. I don't know if that's a conversation anymore.
Josh Allen in there, but he's had. Luckily, he had a bye because man, those last 2 before that bye had him stinking up the joint. So
and it's exactly. And like that's the thing. Also, like they were the best team in the NFL, and now all of a sudden we don't even know if they're good anymore. That's how crazy the season's been.
The defense isn't playing good, and they're getting old. Tre'Davious White should just go ahead and sit it down. I let him and his people have that conversation. I'm just looking at this as a fan. I'm like, oh, bro, you are not the same Tre'Davious White.
Matthew Stafford was the last one, and I mean he's been the yards leader at various points in the season. He's had a winning record.
So actually, that would round out my 5. I would go Patrick, Daniel, Baker, Jared, Matthew. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a quarterback award, so that's why I got 5 quarterbacks in there.
Right. And if JSN, who's on pace,
he has to absolutely do some bonkers type shit.
JSN is on pace to break the Megatron record right now. Bijan is on record to break the yards from scrimmage record. If one of them does it, they're in that 5.
Oh, well, and that's why I hate when it comes to other positions. They
have to have historic seasons.
Have to have a historic season to even be part of that conversation. Because if we're really talking about it, if we're being real, you could have made a case for Derrick Henry last year to be MVP of the league.
For sure.
You could have made a case for Saquon Barkley to be MVP of the league last year. And
Jamar Chase with the Triple Crown.
Hello. And my thing is like,
he didn't get a single Offensive Player of the Year vote after that.
Then, and that's what is really killing me about how they're categorizing it right now in the NFL of MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Does a quarterback not play on the offensive side?
MVP's become a quarterback award, and Offensive Player of the Year, not even just offensive player, it's become a skill position player award, running backs or wide receivers.
Exactly.
Maybe tight ends.
So,
in like a special year. Offensive linemen don't even get considered.
No.
And that's why they made the Protector of the Year award.
Yeah. So I guess my bigger beef is like, why even call it MVP? Because there's 53 players on the damn roster.
Yeah.
If you're talking about most valuable, it just can't be a quarterback.
Right. And like, obviously we know that the most important position is quarterback, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every team's most important player is a quarterback. I think there are teams this year even where you could say there's a player on this team that is more responsible for their wins than their quarterback.
Without a doubt, because I've seen teams, if they build inside out, as in get your trenches on both sides of the ball, secure it first, and start building outside. I've seen them literally carry an average a quarterback to some success. It happens all the time in the NFL.
Yeah,
you protect any guy and give him weapons, he's likely going to have some success.
I mean, that's why Daniel Jones is playing well. He has one of the best offensive lines in the NFL now. He has the best running back at playing this season.
Hold on.
No. It's so true. It's so true.
It took you an hour and 24 minutes to finally throw your darts at Daniel Jones.
And I'm going to keep doing it because one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. They've been playing insane this year. Jonathan Taylor's been the best running back in the NFL, and he has that as support now. He has a really good receiving group. Is this Daniel Jones, or is this an insane offensive line and situation?
Hey,
it's an insane situation. He's got a lot of help, and he's been beating up on horrible teams. He finally beat his first good team, and it's not even playing like a good team because they don't have either of their tackles. So... And they don't have Khalil Mack. They have injuries on the defensive side too. But
no, he played. He came back that game. That was his first game back. But I get
right, yeah.
I get you. I get what you're saying. But right now, I'm not gonna hate on what they're doing. They are a contender until they start acting pretender-ish.
I'll hate on what they're doing. I will hate with venom in my veins. And also, I wanted to bring this up since we're talking about offensive linemen now, and we talked about JSN. The Seahawks-Texans game yesterday is, I think, really good evidence for a point that I've been making. And we'll talk about like various games we want to talk about, but I just wanted to make this point about this one. These were two of the worst offensive lines in the NFL last year. Seahawks and Texans.
Oh my goodness.
One of them still is, and one of them isn't. And you can see the insane difference that it has made. Now, point that I've made is that interior offensive linemen are crazy undervalued. I know that they're not on an island the way the tackles are, and I know that you can kind of cover for a weak interior offensive lineman if the other guys around them are good. I got all of that, but we've seen multiple teams throughout, like, it's just last year. There were a bunch of teams that their offensive lines fell apart mostly because of the interior guys, even if the tackles were good. These two teams were examples of that, and the offense just collapsed entirely. The Seahawks took a guard in the first round, which you're quote-unquote not supposed to do, and the Texans traded away their best tackle, replaced him with a rookie, they traded away their best offensive lineman, replaced him with a rookie, and didn't take an interior offensive lineman and said, we're good now. And despite having what I still think is probably the better quarterback of the two in a vacuum, I would still say CJ Stroud's probably a better quarterback despite their performances up to this point. CJ Stroud couldn't do anything because he had like 0.01 seconds to throw the ball every play. They were getting their asses beat all the time. He had to sling the ball out with so little time to think. He had to run backwards like crazy to extend plays, like with that touchdown pass. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold can sit there forever. Gray Zabel's been great. He's had multiple weeks with 0% pressure rates, like been one of the better interior offensive linemen in the NFL multiple weeks, and it's been a massive improvement. So guards should be taken earlier in drafts, and they should be valued more, is my point. And that game is a real big proof of that.
Hey, Randy. Hey, man. Look, Houston, y'all got a problem. And y'all created it. Like Randy just laid out. Why would you trade away your best tackle, Laramie Thompson? Your best player on your whole offensive line. And you really didn't do much to really fix it. Okay, so
they switched offensive line coaches because I guess they thought it was a coaching problem, but it's not.
It's a personnel problem. Trust.
Yeah, it's a personnel problem.
It's a personnel problem,
which they made worse.
They made it worse. Look, you literally are wasting two things on this Houston. You're wasting the good quarterback, and you're wasting a Super Bowl caliber defense. That defense literally gave that piss poor offense multiple opportunities to get back and win the game last night.
Mhm.
And you shit the bed with piss poor offensive coordinated coaching. This man is trying to run the ball where you need to get that peel flying and get it. It wasn't working on the ground. You're playing too good of a defense in their house. It's not working. You're gonna have to put it in the air. This team is they're not doing CJ Stroud no favors at all. Oh, we're giving them offensive weapons and this and that, but damn it don't mean shit when your man can't stand up.
Real. And also, like, his receivers were dropping the passes too. Like, he had no help.
Oh,
he had to do everything for himself, and give him credit. Look, he did pretty decently given how horrible of a situation he was in. But it just wasn't enough. And yeah, you're right. The defense made it. The Texans defense has been giving up 12 points a game. If CJ Stroud was allowed to score 13 points a game, they'd go undefeated.
The only problem that the defense didn't do was score it. Oh, they did that last night too. Shit. Like, what else you want from them?
They got a fumble touchdown in the end zone.
What else do you want from them? Help your defense. Look, I was worried about the Texans coming in because I'm like, that defense is going to be nice. And CJ Stroud, hopefully, he can't, it's his third year. He'll definitely be better now. Their offense is so bad. Oh, I know Texas fans. Y'all like, hey, man, but we beat the Titans 26-0. You should. They're not good.
Yeah.
You were supposed to do that. You were supposed to have some kind of life of offense against a bad team. But we beat the Ravens 44-10. You're supposed to. Have you seen the Ravens defense lately?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're able to beat teams that aren't able to put pressure on that offensive line. If they're playing against a bad defense that can't get pressure, then they're fine because that's the thing that's been holding them back. But most teams can get pressure against that offensive line. They beat two of the few teams that couldn't.
Oh, look at the defense only gave up 14 points against the Rams. Your defense only gave up 20 points against the Buccaneers. They only gave up 17 against the Jaguars. They shut out the Titans. They only gave up 10 to the Ravens. So the fact that they even gave up 27 last night was like, come on, bro. Because they like, bro, help me.
I was so baffled by a lot of their decisions in the draft in the offseason, and I was like, maybe they know something I don't. No, they didn't.
Oh man,
no, they didn't.
They easily closed their window, and they did it themselves.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's still on a rookie deal. He's not going to be for much longer. This was their time to build around him.
Supposed to build on the rookie contract.
They made the second round of the playoffs the past 2 years, and now they might not make the playoffs at all.
You're supposed to build on the rookie. No, they're not winning this division now. They can't even beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're the third best team in their division, and that's only because the fourth is the second worst, if not the worst team in the entire NFL.
No, they're not though. No, they're not the worst.
No, it was the Titans, not the Texans.
No, the Titans. Yeah, I was agreeing. The Titans. There's a team.
It's them or the Jets.
That's what I'm about to. There's a team in East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but
they still get the win.
If the Cardinals hadn't handed them that win through a series of dumb bullshit, then they'd be winless too.
Ugh.
So I'm not counting that win. That's ridiculous.
My goodness.
All right. We gotta talk about games, and there's one I really didn't want to talk about, but we gotta talk about it before we get off. And you know which one I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the one that broke your heart, or a team that pissed you off?
Yeah. Yes.
And y'all would have done us a favor. Y'all do know that, so I'm actually kind of irritated with y'all that y'all did that.
Me too.
Because
And
y'all would have helped us out in our standings over here in the AFC West, and y'all no, bump that. If I'm being real, bro, y'all motherfuckers should be 4-3.
yeah, we gave up 2 games. Jackson Dart should be undefeated. He gave the Saints a win with 5 turnovers in a row, 5 mistakes, and Cam Scatterbo too. With a game that they should have won, that they dominated most of, and then threw away at the end, and then they just did it again against the Broncos. And
then if that's the case, y'all should be 5-2 because y'all should have beat Dallas.
Yep. And if Jackson Dart was playing, we would have. Now, to be fair, unlike the Saints game, where it was very largely on Jackson Dart, it wasn't really against the Broncos. I get that he had the interception. I would love to just talk about the first 3 quarters, and I've been saying that you shouldn't be able to only be good for a quarter and then win the game. It's like the winner should be who dominated most of the game. I think that's fair.
No, don't be salty because y'all lost the most important quarter, man.
Okay. Well, we were in the lead almost the entire game. I think that should count for something. And by a lot. And the Broncos have been doing this. They did it to the Eagles too. So Eagles fans can shut the fuck up. Because you got your first loss to the Broncos doing exactly this. Fourth quarter Bo Nix is not the same person that first through third quarter Bo Nix is. They're different people entirely. That's pretty crazy. But if we didn't have a kicker from the international players pathway, we would have won that game. We got Young-Ho Koo from the Falcons, who I get was struggling.
Hey, yo.
Onto our practice squad.
Yeah, I got to go to him.
But what this says is, how bad could he have possibly been that this guy won the kicker battle to get onto the starting team? And he got released immediately. He was so bad, they cut him after 1 game, as they should. But why was he there?
And I mean, like, bro, that's 2 points off the table. If you make those 2 extra points, that forces them to get into the end zone instead of kicking for a field goal. So yeah, you gotta lose that job, bro. You got one job.
And he wasn't the only problem, but he was mathematically the biggest problem. If Young-Ho Koo was in there, gets those 2 extra points, then that's it. That's probably the game. I mean, so many decisions. And this isn't the first time we've lost a game because of kicking play. Last year, in week 2 against the Commanders, Brian Daboll forgot to elect a kicker to replace Graham Gano when he was hurt. I don't know what the fuck happened, but forgot to elect a kicker? So we took one from the practice squad. We didn't believe in him. And we had to, despite having 3 touchdowns and the Commanders having 0 touchdowns, we had to go for 2 on every play because we didn't have a kicker and we didn't make it. Guess who beat us with nothing but field goals?
The Commanders. I remember that game last year.
Yeah, like what the fuck? And then one of Daniel Jones's better games as a Giant wasted because of a kicker. And that we just did the same thing here. Joe Shane not taking the kicker position seriously, just forgetting about it. Brian Daboll doing the same thing. And also, Shane Bowen should have been fired a long time ago. And the fact that you gave up 33 points in a single quarter is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And with the amount of talent that he has on the defense in total, not just the defensive line, but I mean, you have the defensive line. You have Dex. You have Burns. You have Abdul Carter. You have Tibbs. And then on the back end, you have Adebo. You have Andrew Phillips. You have you have Javon Holland. You have
Man,
good
I hated
players.
that game.
Yeah, and just everything went bad. Adebo and Holland both went out, and the Broncos had scored 0 points with them in, so that was probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
But then
I was watching that game the other day. I was because I had to see it from my own eyes. I was like, what the
like a team, a defense with those names on it should not be the worst run defense in the NFL and should not be one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. That's unacceptable. That's all Shane Bowen. And yeah, I mean, like, them, Holland and Adebo both leaving the game was a big part of it. Shane Bowen not putting Dex and Abdul Carter in on the final Broncos drive was an insane decision. That is a fireable decision on its own. Just weak coverage. Like, Bo Nix was just slinging it at will. Nobody was even in front of the fucking Deontay Banks should have been traded a long time ago. Didn't
damn, that shit got you hot, dog.
Did you see the name I chose for this week?
No, as
Deontay Banks not even going for a full tackle on former Giant Evan Engram and letting him get extra yardage is unacceptable. That you should have been traded for like whatever we can get for you. Like that's insane. Like, put the effort in. That's ridiculous.
And said, I'd take you for a slab of ribs right now, bro.
Yeah, bro. I think we could. There are teams that'll take an athletic freak corner and give us something for him. There are teams that are desperate enough for a corner. There have been talks that we might be in talks with the Dolphins for Jalen Waddle. Guess what team really needs corners? Maybe we can make something happen. But Cordell Flott has like a 90 something coverage grade and like multiple interceptions on the year. He should be CB2. Nice.
Yeah, he looking kind of nice.
Yeah, he should be CB2. What is Deontay Banks doing out there?
Yeah. But let's get through some of these other games real quick. Hey, Jets, yeah, y'all stink. Y'all stink.
Yeah. At least one team we know where they are in the rankings.
Yeah. Do the Bengals got life with Joe Flacco? Did he bring life to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried he might have brought a little bit of life to Cincinnati. He might have. Oh, we'll see.
I don't know if I believe based off of this game, just because surprisingly the Steelers defense has been so bad this year.
It's been terrible. I think that's another part of the coin. We got to be honest about the Pittsburgh defense. It hasn't been good all season.
And this would totally happen to Aaron Rodgers, right? Like the Steelers have been the team that was able to, just on the power of defense, get Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Justin Fields, washed Russell Wilson to the playoffs. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers gets there. He plays well, and then the defense falls apart. That would happen to him.
Hey, no, I'm like you brought it. No cap, he's been playing well. Obviously
he played well in that game.
He did. London game kicked off early. Rams. Yeah, they demolished the Jags. Fraudulent. I've been trying to tell people they've been a little bit fraudulent. It is what it is.
Devin Lloyd being hurt also is like a big loss for them too, because the defense has really been carrying them.
It has. Trevor Lawrence, I'm still not a fan. Never been.
Yep. Agreed.
He continues to show why.
And then Brian Thomas Jr.'s decline has really made it even harder for them. That was like his bet. That was his target, and now he doesn't have that. But also, like, Trevor Lawrence himself hasn't been good. Hasn't been that good. He's been, I don't know, inconsistent as usual.
Yeah, same old. Dolphins move off of Tua, turn the ball over, Tua run the teammate over, and get off of McDaniel. We lost both of them immediately.
Yeah.
It'll do both of y'all some good.
Get an offensive line too.
Well, that too. I would try to trade Tua to somebody who's desperate enough to give me their offensive line for this washed quarterback. No, you got to. You can't continue going on like this.
Do you think they'd be desperate enough if we offered Deontay Banks and Evan Neal in exchange for Jalen Waddle? Do you think they'd be desperate enough? They need offensive line and they need corner. Do you think?
Man, y'all need offensive line too.
Evan Neal's not even a starter.
Hell, but y'all need all the hell y'all can get. Shit.
He's addition by subtraction.
Hey, if that's the case, all right, cool. But Dolphins, yeah, y'all are trash. And as much as two of you was over there trying to throw people under the bus and then try to apologize, and then you go out that next game and look like straight cheeks, yeah, you need to quietly shut the fuck up. I'll probably be having you on Friday night on STFU. On the Audible podcast. But Browns, Quinshon Junkins, he might throw his hat into the Roy decision.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. He was one that because he was the last person I had to eliminate just to make the 5. He's definitely moved in over Bill. Now I would say that he makes that 5. Also, do you even though they won and they won by a lot in this game, Dylan Gabriel still hasn't been good. He hasn't been good at all. How long do you think it's going to take before we're at Sanders time?
Oh, they'll give Dylan 2 more starts. They at least want to look at a whole month of footage and be like, yeah, you're still not good. And so they can actually, PC say we gave Dylan all the opportunity. Okay, anyway.
Also, just as a side point, when it comes to our offensive line, one of the few positives of the game, our offensive line has actually been pretty good since Jackson Dart stepped in. Andrew Thomas has been playing like a protector of the year candidate. I think he's only given up he's given up 0 pressures all season, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no. Hey, that was one of y'all talking points. Shout out to Nikki G. We did the show with her Airhead G podcast. She said the same thing. It's kind of hold the. She preferred that Andrew Thomas was back before you put the trigger on Jackson Dart. So, you kind of said similar things as well. You're like, hey, let me. I prefer when Jackson Dart is behind at least Andrew Thomas. Browns will probably
one pressure. So 1 pressure all season allowed from him. Anyway, we'll move on to other games, but I just wanted to give Andrew his flowers. He deserved better than that.
Oh no doubt. But Browns, yeah, they're Dylan Gabriel. Come on, he's not the answer. Titans, you're not a good team. And this was what I was worried about. Cam Ward falling into the mental part of a loser. Because that team hasn't been good for the last few years. And I just felt that all that loser mentality in that building would start weighing on him, and he's starting to make some goofy ass turnovers.
Yep.
Like for real, he's making just ball just slips out of his hand. Like he's starting to look like a goofy. So
that it's bad. He's been playing bad, and the thing is, like, firing Brian Callahan was the right move, but at the same time, it was,
but it doesn't change nothing.
Exactly. Like, it's the right move, but it's not the right move because you were a head coach away from being something.
No.
It's the right move because
we got like something up in this.
Everyone's got to go, and he's one of the people that's got to go. Like, that's.
We putting notice on all you motherfuckers. He was first. You gonna be next if you keep fucking up too. That's what that was. That was we ready to clean house.
Yeah, everyone that's not named Jeffrey Simmons needs to somehow get removed from the team.
Hey,
and A.O. Maynard's been decent too.
He has, but not decent enough that his job is not on the line. So,
Sure, yes.
pretty much, if your name is not Cam Ward or Jeffrey Simmons, you are on the block,
Yep.
as you should. But when it comes to the Patriots, because it's kind of a different AFC this year, I might have undersold the Patriots. I think a lot of people did, and looking kind of good. Looking kind of good.
Yeah, I didn't. They're another team that's in that kind of I don't know where they're at tier right now, because other than the Bills, it's not like they've been beating good teams. They could be a beat bad teams, lose to good teams team that got lucky 1 week at this point. Drake May individually has been really good.
Yeah, no,
Like,
Drake's been balling.
yeah, undoubtedly, Stephon Diggs has, since the Bills game, been really good. He wasn't that good before then, but he's really turned it around past 2 weeks. The defense is good. Mike Vrabel is a good coach. You know, I still question the Ramondre Stevenson decision, but you know, not a crazy talented roster that has been playing well. I just don't know. I want to see them play a good team that's not imploding, because we don't know what's going on with the Bills at this point. I don't know, when they're a wait and see team for me at this point, but they've been playing well, and May has been playing well.
Hey, no, fair. A fair assessment all around, but young.
And they also lost to the Raiders, by the way. Like, that's also something that we have to talk about. Like,
I'll slide that week one. I'll give them some grace on that one. I'm not really tripping about that. If they lost to them, like, say, within the last couple of weeks, then yeah, I had to put them to the flame for that. But
like a development type thing, like we're getting our groove in kind of deal. Maybe
it was their week one. Vrabel as their new coach, so it's a new voice, a new scheme. Drake May trying to get used to Josh McDaniels being back in the building. He's back in the building. Well, he was a rookie last year, so he didn't have Josh last year. So, I mean, and oddly enough, and this was really, really irritating me. It's like, because Mike Vrabel was really, a player side on that, Patriot way shit. And now that he's the head coach, and he brought back Josh McDaniels, who was part of that dynasty as well, I'm just like, these motherfuckers, wake up that damn Patriots fan base. I'm gonna be irritated as hell. Because I thought y'all were dead, man.
I know. I've been so happy for them to be
gone. I thought y'all were gone when Tom left. I don't need to hear y'all motherfuckers come out the damn grave like some fucking thriller movie or some shit, some graveyard shit. I don't need y'all resurrecting that damn disgusting ass fan base.
I can't handle a proud Eagles fan base and a proud Patriots fan base at the same time.
Make me throw the fuck up. Good point, man. But no, week 7 overall, man, it was the teams that won were supposed to win. Obviously, the Giants let one get out of their hands, but it is what it is. Things happen.
Also, the funny trick play, the Patrick Mahomes trick play. I was like, this never fucking works. And then they do the run play. That's a new one. That was good. That was nice. Like, you're shutting them out, and then you decide to stun on them on top of it. Like, that was cold.
Pull Patrick Mahomes at damn near as the third quarter was winding down. Pull him. Say,
they still scored 0.
Still scored 0. Yeah, man. But hey, man, appreciate you. He says 3/4 of the league seems to be imploding. Yeah, like I said earlier, Crafty Southpaw. I think it's due to some bad coaching with some injuries. Some teams are not able to overcome these injuries. Look at the Commanders.
Yep.
And then you got bad coaching. Look at the Falcons.
Yeah. No, that was not. I was so high and mighty when they beat the Bills. I was like, I knew it. I'm a ball knower. And then they lose to the beat up 49ers without everybody.
Clearly,
I don't know. I don't know, man.
They held together with duct tape and damn gorilla glue, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. 90% of the team is in the I don't fucking know tier. Like that. We don't know who's good yet, except for like they're like 3 good teams, 4 bad teams, and everyone else is I don't know.
Hey, I love it. It's parody and it makes everything wide open. So, hey, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We didn't yapped enough. Y'all know what it is. Tap in with my man Randy Weber on Instagram, Panther on Acid. All right, again on Instagram, Panther on Acid. You need some audio needs. Y'all know where to find me on Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar. Or, I.O.W Sports Network. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Hey, and all of it's free. It don't cost you not a damn thing. We just shows that, hey, y'all appreciate the content we put together. Hey, that's as good as it can get for us. So, hey, we appreciate the love and support, but we're going to get up out of here. Hope you enjoyed your Taco Tuesday. I'm going to have my black ass here tomorrow night. All right. I know I've been slacking y'all. Hey, hold me accountable. When I don't be doing shows, y'all jump in my DM and say, hey, motherfucker, come on, talk sports. Anyway, we out of here. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Como de lo cigar. Man, you don't wanna start.